Spectacled Kid and Capped Kid, the second story. Capped Kid said,
"You're lucky that you don't catch colds so easily."
I pretended that I was sick. My mother took me to the doctor. I groaned and grumbled a lot, but the doctor knew that I was well.
"You're lucky that you were sound and well."
My cousin lent me his cap, but I looked more ridiculous because my glasses were full of vapor when I breathed. An astronaut cannot fly to Mars if he wears spectacles dimmed by vapor. They both sighed together. They remained silent for a while and started thinking. Then, they looked at each other. Capped Kid gave his cap to Spectacled Kid, and Spectacled Kid gave his spectacles to Capped Kid. They stood in front of the mirror. Now he was wearing a cap and looked like an astronaut, but he couldn't see himself clearly in the mirror. He laughed. Capped Kid also thought he no longer looked ridiculous. Now he had eyeglasses and looked like a scientist. He laughed. They went out to show their pretty faces to the other children. But suddenly, both of them sat down. They thought it would be better to play some indoor games. They were still afraid of being sneered at by the other kids. They couldn't play with toy balls because they couldn't see the balls very well. They were afraid to break something. They couldn't paint because they couldn't see what they were painting. They couldn't play with stones because they might lose them. They played other indoor games, but then they got bored soon. They couldn't watch television either. They didn't know what else to do. Spectacled Kid said, "Now, let's go out and throw snowballs with the others. The weather is fresh and nice outside." Capped Kid said,
"I will catch a cold because I'm not wearing my cap. You will not see the beauty of the snow because you're not wearing your glasses. What should we do?"
They both sighed. They started thinking for a while, and then they looked at each other and burst into laughter. Capped Kid returned the spectacles to Spectacled Kid, and Spectacled Kid returned the cap to Capped Kid. They both stood in front of the mirror. The mirror reflected them perfectly now. They saw their faces. They both looked like healthy, beautiful children and were laughing. They ran outside to the other children. All healthy and pretty children are laughing and playing in the snow.